Americans are willing to embrace things, but we tend to be pretty pragmatic. Let's slow down. Okay, I'm uncomfortable. And I think that's probably a very good quality. So this is interesting. And I tend to judge myself. What do I care about? What am I into? What am I uncomfortable with? I was completely, absolutely, 5 to 6 years ago, uncomfortable with the idea of women in UFC. Totally uncomfortable. People inside the UFC, Dana White included, weren't entirely comfortable with it. The owners of the sport. Then they got a little less squeamish. Then they monitored, let's allow it. Let's not promote it. Then they put it on a card. And then they promoted it on a card. And this weekend, it was the best fight on the card. And the fans loved it. That does not speak poorly of us. It speaks well of us. If the first time they fought, we liked it more than men, come on now. We should have been somewhat uncomfortable. Our culture historically has had problems and often been tone deaf, violence against women. This is something we've talked about great detail on our show. So we are just uncomfortable 5, 6, 7 years ago with the idea, even if it's women fighting women. We have slowly put our arms around it. The women, in this instance, are all in. But Saturday, we really went to a place that we had never gone to before in this country, where it was not only engaging, it was easily the most accepted and interesting fight on a card with real fighters, real championship level fighters. Were you there?
I wasn't there. I wish I was, but I had to be here. But I watched it at a bar, and I'll admit it's uncomfortable for me sometimes seeing women fight each other.
Yes.
But I was fascinated by this fight, and then I kind of can get past it because looking at their skill set and what they're able to do is so impressive. And I do feel like it's one of those sports where women are becoming, or if not equal to, the men, and how much people appreciate watching it and root for them. It's also kind of fascinating to me that for some reason it doesn't seem like the women can ever defend their title. There's always kind of a new person knocking off the champion, which I think is really interesting and makes watching this really cool. But I love their storylines, and I think it's great for women.